Hi guys, I am Sanchita. I'm a game designer and writer, and I am doing a how to play video for you guys today for one of my favorite games. You all know it. It's called Azul. I've already done an unboxing video for you guys, and now I am going to share with you how to play the game. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I already did the unboxing video for you, and you all know that there are rules in the box. There are these 4 player boards. There are 9 factories. Number 1 player tile, 4 score markers, and 100 of these tiles in 5 different designs. This pouch is not part of the game. It would be helpful for you to have one as well. So the story in the game is that you have been commissioned by royalty to make the best wall of tiles. You're a tile master. This is where you make your rough design, you gather resources, and once these rows are complete, that's when one of these gets transferred to your final wall of tiles. We'll see how that happens in a bit. First, let's do setup. So for a 2-player game, you need 5 of these. For a 3-player game, you need 7. And for a 4-player game, you need all 9. Right now, I'm setting up for a 3-player game. So I'll take 7 of these and I'll put 2 of them aside. The gameplay is the same no matter how many players you have. In every round, you randomly take out 4 tiles and you place them on each one of these circles without seeing what you're placing. This number 1 player tile gets placed in the center. Each player gets one of these boards and a score marker, which they place on 0. So this is the setup for a 3-player game. The aim of the game is to have the highest points at the end of the game. How you score points is by how densely you're able to connect tiles, because the more the tiles are connected here, the higher your score is after every round. And also the other way that you score points is with the end of the game scoring, which is listed here for you. For every complete row, you get 2 points. For every complete column, you get 7 points. And for every 5 of a kind, you get 10 points, which means that if you've managed to place all the yellow tiles or all of these blue tiles or all of these white and blue tiles, for each of those sets, you would get 10 points extra at the end of the game, not at the time when you've managed to complete those tiles. So on your turn, you do one action only, which is you take tiles and you place them in any one of these rows, or in case you're not able to place them in any one of these rows, it falls here, which is negative scoring for you. So these are factories. And when you're taking tiles from any factory, you can only choose one at a time. And whenever you're taking tiles from any one factory, you have to take all of one color. So if you were taking tiles from here, you would pick up these 2 if you were picking up black, and if you were picking up blue, then you just pick up this one. Or let's say you were picking up from here, then you would have to pick both the yellows if you were picking yellow, and so on. So let's say I am picking up these 2 tiles from here, and whenever you're taking tiles in one turn, you only place them in one single row. So let's say I've placed both these tiles here. What happens to these tiles? They fall to the factory floor. This area in between that you see is called the factory floor. So now the next player, as the turn rotates clockwise, that player also has the option of picking up tiles from the factory floor. And the rule remains the same. If you are picking up tiles from anywhere, whether it be from one of the factories or the factory floor, you have to pick up all of the color that you're picking up or the design. So if let's say these 3 tiles were also here, because people would have taken these tiles on their turn, then the person to pick up the blue tile would have to pick up all 3 blue tiles from the factory floor. And the first person to pick up tiles from the factory floor also has to pick up this number 1 player tile, which falls to your personal factory floor for negative scoring. This tile has an advantage and a disadvantage. The disadvantage is it gives you negative scoring, but the advantage is that in the next round, when all these tiles are finished and fresh tiles get dealt, you will become the first player who gets to pick from any one of the factories. So that's how the number 1 player tiles works. So let's say on my turn, I have picked up these 2 tiles. This is one of the factory floor. The next player has picked up these 2 tiles and they have placed it, let's say here. In case you are not able to finish a certain row at the end of every round, when all the tiles are finished, that's when tiles get transferred and scored. So any incomplete row would stay as it is, and any complete row, let's say if this were complete, then one of these tiles will move to the designated area in that row and the other tile gets discarded. So continuing with the turns, now these two tiles have also fallen to the factory floor. So you have two reds and two white and blues available here. Now, how do I pick up tiles? Depends on scoring, like I said. So we know that this black one is going to get completed at the end of the round because one of these will get transferred and one will be discarded. So let's see how scoring works. Let's say this tile was already made and this tile gets transferred, then this tile gets 2 points instead of just 1. When you place a single tile on the board, it gets only 1 if it's not connected to anything. However, let's say that this tile was also already placed before this tile got transferred, then the scoring works slightly differently. If a tile has connections in rows and columns, not just rows or columns, that means that tile gets scored twice. So if I were transferring this tile, since it's connected to this tile and this tile, first we will calculate the score row wise and then we will calculate column wise. So the score for this tile would be 1, 2 and 3, 4. So this tile would get scored twice. So just doing a refresher for how you would calculate scores, let's create a formation of pre-existing tiles at the end of a round. Let's say that you have this already placed, you have this already placed, this. Let's say that you placed this in this tile in this round and then you placed 2 reds in this row. Let's say you placed a black, and also of course if you've placed any tile once in a row, you cannot place it again. So I can't put yellow in this row again since this is already placed. So let's say I put a black here, I have, and let's say we have these 3, since they're incomplete, they will remain untouched at the end of the round. And the ones that are complete will get scored. So this one tile, since it's a single tile, will move all the way here. And the score for this tile would be, first we will calculate row wise. So 1, 2 and then column wise 3, 4. So you will move your score marker wherever that is at that point of time. You'll move it 4 points ahead. Then let's say we're moving this, and of course you always move one tile at a time from the topmost row when you're scoring yourself at the end of a round, and the round ends when all the tiles from here are finished. Okay, so you take this one and you would discard this other tile, and since these are incomplete, they will remain as is. So I would take this and I would place this here. Now the score for this, let's calculate first row wise and then column wise. It would be 1, 2, 3 and then 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this tile gets scored twice, like I said, and it's connected to these 2 tiles in the row and these 3 tiles in the column. So again, let's do this. No diagonal scoring, by the way, only rows and columns. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, that's your score for moving this tile. Okay, you guys got it? So that's pretty much the strategy that you have while you're playing this game, that you want to, connect tiles as close to each other as possible, because let's say I would have finished this black set also, this would only score me 1 point in this round. So you want to find the tiles in the resources available which connect the in the most dense way to the tiles which are already placed in the final design, and that would give you a higher score. And then you also want to keep in mind the end of the game scores, that you want to try to complete as many columns as you can or make as many 5 of a kind. That would give you extra points at the end of the game. So how a game end triggers is, if anyone is about to complete a row, any one row, you see that, let's say this has already been made and then somebody, puts 2 of these tiles. So you know that this is going to get completed. That triggers the end of the game. So as soon as the remaining tiles are picked up, that the game will end and you will get your final scores. So that's how the end of the game gets triggered, and then how the game ends and how you get end of the game scoring. So I hope you got how to play the game. It's actually very simple. The rules seem complicated, but once you get how to play and how to score, it's actually a very simple, very addictive, very replayable game. It's a really good game. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye.